Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Phil and I'm a senior lecturer in astrophysics at the University of Lincoln, and I want to use this video to have a look again at lenticular galaxies, which are a very specific type of galaxy that kind of sit between spirals and ellipticals, and have a look at how we might classify them depending on the actual central bar and how strong or weak that it actually is. So before I kind of get into that, in case you've come across this video and you haven't seen the other ones that explain kind of what galaxies are, what lenticulars are, I'm just going to recap that before I then explain how we classify these barred lenticulars. So galaxies are these vast collections of stars, gas, dust and dark matter. They're gravitationally bound. Some of these are rotating like disks. Some of them are more spherical. They have a range of different kind of sizes, shapes and compositions. So some have different ratios of stars to gas to dust. Some have very little gas and dust. Some of us have lots more stars. And again with the dark matter. So they're made of this sort of material, matter, but the ratios are dependent on the type of galaxy that it actually is. So a whole range of different shapes and sizes, and most of these actually here are disk-like galaxies. But we get more spherical ones, so elliptical galaxies, we get dwarf galaxies, jellyfish galaxies, regular galaxies. We've got lots of different sorts, and they're all different shapes and sizes, made of different things, and they're all classified in a slightly different way. So if we go to the kind of the fairly basic idea of the Hubble kind of tuning fork diagram, there's a few varieties of this. Sometimes you've kind of got the three forks on the actual right hand side, but on the right hand side here you've got your spiral galaxies. They're your disk-like galaxies. These are rotation supporters, so they're rotating like a disk, and they would evolve from the right hand side to the left hand side. So if you take the top row there, they go from SC to SA. The spiral arms get more tightly wound. Their gas content decreases because it forms into stars basically. And they get slightly redder because the stars basically age as well. And it's true for like the top branch, which is your normal spirals with a central bulge, and your bottom branch, which is your barred spiral galaxies. And sometimes in the middle you have another one, which is your intermediate, so they have kind of weak bars there as well. And some key things about spiral galaxies is that they generally have quite high gas content in them. Because of that, they have fairly recent ongoing star formation. The younger the spiral galaxy, the more significant that's going to be. And they also have disk-like dynamics, so they're basically, we would classify that as rotation supported basically. They also have spiral arms and things like that. Now, on the other side, on the left-hand side, you've got your elliptical galaxies. These are mostly classified by their shape, so a more circular or spherical one is going to be E0 all the way up to E7. However, I've done a separate video actually explaining that probably like E5, E7, even E4, those elliptical galaxies are not necessarily elliptical galaxies, they're actually lenticulars, which we're going to cover as we go through this kind of video very shortly. But they are classified by their shape, and I've done a separate video on that, on how you actually classify that. But these basically, now take this with a little bit of pinch of salt. I'm saying no star formation, no gas. That's not necessarily true for all spirals. They have kind of very low levels of star formation and gas compared to a spiral galaxy. They've got more random motions of stars. They do have some rotation dynamics, but it's generally significantly less than the random motions of stars. So we would actually classify those as kinematically hot as opposed to rotation supported, because their velocity dispersion, their random motion is greater than their actual rotation. And they obviously have older populations of red stars, which makes elliptical galaxies redder than spirals. Obviously they don't have spiral arms either. They're quite smooth in appearance as well. Smooth and symmetric. Now, it's thought that the spirals will generally evolve into ellipticals through some process. So it's either from mergers, the spiral galaxies merge together and that gas gets quenched and we end up with these ellipticals. That's one idea. And if you had an isolated spiral galaxy, they can also kind of become more elliptical due to a redistribution of angular momentum from the spiral arms, but that's a whole separate video basically. So the spirals essentially are going to evolve into your ellipticals over time. So if we go back to the tuning fork diagram, you're going to go from right to left, so through the spirals and then into the ellipticals, but you'll notice that there's a a group in between there, S0, which I haven't mentioned yet. So these ones here are your lenticular galaxies, and these share physical properties with both the spirals and the elliptical galaxies. So what do they actually share? Well, first off, they have disk-like dynamics, but they don't have any spiral arms. So they're like an elliptical galaxy in the sense that there's no spiral arms, but they're like a spiral galaxy because they're rotating like a disk, they're rotation supported. Again, no gas, but they do have some gas, it's just very low levels amount. So similar sorts of gas content to what an elliptical galaxy might have. They have populations of old red stars, again quite similar to what you'd get in an elliptical galaxy, and because of that you have very low amounts of star formation. So they're essentially like a disk-like elliptical galaxy in some ways. The actual stellar populations, the gas content is quite similar to an elliptical galaxy, but they're rotating like a disk. So these are your lenticular galaxies, and again they're smooth in appearance. They don't have those significant dominant spiral arms we'd expect to see on a disk-like galaxy. So what are they? Well, it's likely that they're faded spiral galaxies. They've lost their arms and they've essentially used up all of their gas, or most of their gas, as the spiral arms or spiral galaxies have evolved. The spiral arms get more tightly wound and you get a redistribution of angular momentum, and you can lose the spiral arms, and they've used the majority of that gas to turn into stars. So that's kind of what is likely happening here, but they're still kind of rotating as a disk. Now this is an example of one here. So this is a massive barred lenticular galaxy in the constellation of Perseus. I kind of noted approximately where it is in the constellation, and if you wanted to go find it, I don't actually know what the magnitude of this or how bright it is, whether you'd actually be able to see it with a fairly modest telescope or not. I haven't actually tried that yet, but this is a massive barred lenticular galaxy. And lenticular galaxies, just like spiral galaxies, can have a central bar. I don't know if you can kind of see that at all with this picture, but there is a central bar in this particular galaxy. It might not be very strong, it might be a fairly weak bar, but it does have an asymmetric central region. It's not perfectly spherical, so we will classify this as a barred spiral, well not a spiral, a barred lenticular, just like we get those barred spiral galaxies. So what we can do then is we can actually classify the barred lenticulars due to the size of their bar. So how strong or weak their bar is, we can give them a further classification, because normally we would classify these galaxies as S0, but we can give it a further classification if it's barred, if it's got a weak bar or a strong bar, or kind of intermediate bar as well. So the first type then, your SB01, so SB is denoting that it's kind of a barred lenticular, 0, and then the 1 is telling you how strong the actual central region is. And this one here has a fairly weak bulge. It does have a slight brightening towards the bulge edges in the center part of the galaxy. This suggests that it's not symmetric, it's not a spherical central bulge, it's got a slight asymmetric structure along one of the axes. So this would be your very weak barred lenticular. Then we have like an intermediate one, so SB02. These have a more defined bar, and you can quite clearly see that these actually have an elongated central region. And I've given some examples actually on the left hand side there of these types of barred lenticulars, and you can see in the center there it's quite clearly got a bar. It hasn't got a perfectly symmetric central region, so we've definitely got an elongated central region there. And then the final one is your SB03. These have the most defined bars. You have very strong bars in the center part, and they actually extend out into the main stellar disk as well. As you can see an example here, you've got a very, very strong dominant bar there in that lenticular galaxy. So the point really is that lenticulars, just like spirals, can have central bars. They don't always have to have a central bar like the spiral galaxies, but they can have them, and then we can further classify that to relating to how strong that central bar is. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoy the videos or find them helpful, then do consider becoming a member of the channel. There's extra videos in the members section, but it also helps support the channel as well. So thank you for watching.